Hey, we better hurry because it's going to be his dinner time soon, and then he's going to get mad.
Okay, we were doing a really fast episode because we have 27 minutes until our dog has to eat dinner, and he's going to start whining at us if we don't feed him. So, hi everyone! Welcome back to It's a Twin Thing. It's Aspen, the better half of the Summers twins.
And Ashley, the best half of the Summers twins.
Have we talked about yet that I've never debated you on that?
No, I don't think we have. Because we all know that it's true.
Your perception of true is sometimes a little off.
I think that's you're talking about. You must have gotten us confused.
Probably. I'm usually pretty confused like that.
Like sometimes you forget if you're Aspen or Ashley, or like if something is true about you or me.
I'm pretty sure I don't forget if I'm Aspen or Ashley. Do you forget?
No, but like sometimes you tell stories or something and say that something happened to you, but it actually happened to me.
Well, I have a better memory, so it's actually they happened to me and you just don't remember.
Since when do you have a better memory?
Since birth. But actually there was one time where Ashley used to work at this retail store, and they had mirrors everywhere where you could, if you were trying on like sunglasses or whatever, you could look at yourself. But it was brand new, and we were at the grand opening, whatever, so like I didn't know where anything was, and I was just walking through one of the aisles and caught my reflection in the mirror, and I didn't realize it was a mirror, so I almost thought it was Ashley and said hi.
No, that was me.
No.
What are you talking
I never
about?
worked anywhere where you would have thought that it was me.
No, I was working there, and it was after the store had closed, or before. It must have been before it even opened, and we were like setting everything up for the opening day, and I was walking through the store, and there was like a new mirror, and I walked past the mirror, and I thought it was you, and it like really freaked me out because there's no way you would have been in the store.
No, my version makes a lot more sense because it's illogical for me to have assumed that it was you because I knew you were in the store.
But I thought you had like turned into a ghost and appeared inside the store or something.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's very clear which one of our stories is more believable.
Except for mine is the one that happened.
Then it must have happened to both of us because it happened to me too.
No. This happens all the time. Whenever I have a good story, she like twists it in her head and pretends that it's her story. But it really happened to me.
Well, I guess since we're already arguing, it's a perfect segue into today's episode.
Where we're gonna argue for 2 hours.
Yeah, lucky you.
Or 27 minutes, because then we have to feed our dog.
Yeah, well now we only have 24 minutes. I bet you it's gonna be longer than that though, so.
It's okay, we'll make him go to sleep so he won't know.
Yeah.
You know, people always tell us that they like listening to us fight, which is funny because our parents don't, but most other people enjoy listening to our arguments.
Well, I think people enjoy listening to our non-important debates, but not like when we're actually mad at each other. I don't think anyone would like to listen to that.
I don't know. Anyways, we are going to let you in on our fun by spending this episode debating some very important topics. And we're probably going to do a couple of debate episodes because we have a lot of things to debate.
So today we are doing an Eat Dessert First episode where we are debating all things desserts, probably the most important topic we will ever talk about on this show.
Definitely.
And I think we need to talk about whether you should eat dessert first or not. But I also think maybe we first need to address that it was just Easter and we learned something very problematic about Ashley, which is that she no longer likes sour candy. But in truth, sour candy is the best candy in existence. Like, Sour Patch Jelly Beans are the ultimate Easter candy, and she doesn't even like them.
I ate a Sour Patch Jelly Bean today, and it was so sour, it, like, burnt my throat in half.
It burnt your throat in half?
Yeah,
How does that happen?
It was like so sour and acidic, it just like tore through my throat, like ripped holes in it.
Sour Patch jelly beans aren't even sour.
Well, the one I had was like a fire of sour.
I think that you and some other people in our family have a very skewed perception of sour, because there's a difference between something just having like a sweet tartness to it versus being sour like swallowing a lemon.
Which you like to do.
Not anymore.
The other day you said you wanted to eat something sour so much that you were just gonna suck on a lemon.
No, I said sometimes I have such intense sour cravings that I just want to suck on a lemon, which I guess isn't that different.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly what I said.
But it wasn't like in that moment, like I would never actually do it. It's just like sometimes I'm like, I can't eat anything except for something that's like so sour.
Let me explain the thing about sour candy, and I think people should comment below if they agree with this, because Aspen has always loved sour candy, and I used to eat it and like I was fine with it, but I never loved it, and now I just have like a really low tolerance for sour. And I think the problem with sour candy is that if you're gonna eat candy, like the whole point of candy is that it's sweet, and sweet things are addictive, because like in the time of cavemen, sweet things were usually the foods that were not poisonous and had a lot of calories, so they were like good for you to eat. So you get a dopamine hit when you eat something sweet and sugary. So that's why we like to eat candy. So if you're gonna eat candy, why would you want to waste your candy on something that is like bitter and sour and blah? I just don't understand. Yes, I just really can't even comprehend the concept of it. Like, I love candy because it's sweet. I just don't understand eating sour, especially like the really, really sour things where it's not like a Sour Patch Kid or something where it turns sweet. It's just like really sour the whole time it's in your mouth. Like, that's just uncomfortable. It's like eating a bowl of hot sauce. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Okay, first of all, I've never eaten a sour candy that stays sour the whole time you're eating it. Even like Warheads and Toxic Waste and stuff, the sour like dissipates when you suck on it.
It's so sour. Blah.
But I can't understand if you want to eat candy just eating like fruit gummies or things like that, because it just, the flavor is so boring. Like, I think that, like, that's what I like about sour candy, is it's like, just, I don't know, it's just good and like distinct. And when you just eat like a fruit slice or a gummy bear, well, I have an aversion to the texture of gummy bears, which you can read about on our blog, but I do like Haribo though. But when you eat like gummies and stuff, they're just so plain and overly sweet, and just, they just don't have the right taste. I don't know. Like, there's some sweet candies that I like, but when we're picking out candy or something, I would never choose a non-sour candy over a sour candy. Like, it's just not that enjoyable for me to eat. It's just like, if it's there and I'm starving, then whatever, but like, it's not something that I just would choose to eat ever.
I just really don't understand that. Like, sour candy is so uncomfortable to eat.
I'm sorry you feel that way. What about like sweet tarts and things like that? Are those too sour for you? Because I don't think Sour Patch are really that sour.
No, I feel like I like, well, I used to really like Sour Patch. I feel like lately I'm growing more of an aversion to sour things. Like, Sour Patch, the blue and the red are fine. I mean, I really like the blue and the red, but like the yellow is just, it's too sour.
That's funny because the yellow's my favorite.
I would have guessed.
I do know that most people like the like reds and purples and stuff of most candies, but I mean, it varies very much, but I tend to like the yellows and greens. Also,
sometimes I like green when it's lime, not apple.
I was just about to say that I loved the green apple Skittles, and I am really, really devastated that they replaced them with the lime, because maybe just because I liked the green apple ones so much, I do not like the lime. But also, if you haven't tried sour Skittles, they are so good.
If you are a normal person, you should just get regular Skittles because the lime Skittles are so good. And I was so happy when they replaced the green apple with the lime.
I didn't know you were happy about it.
I love lime flavored candy.
Oh, how are we even related?
I think that a lot. Okay, so if you have thoughts about sour candy, please share them below so that Aspen will understand that her love of sour candy is abnormal.
Or so Ashley will understand that she needs to get her taste buds checked.
I mean, I guess some people like sour candy because obviously they still make it.
Yeah.
But just, I don't, it's like the same thing with spicy food. Like, I don't like things that are overly spicy, and I don't like things that are overly minty.
I don't like things that are overly spicy because then it hurts your mouth and then you can't taste anything
and
else.
sour candy hurts your mouth too. I have ulcers in my mouth from eating sour candy.
No, you
yes,
don't.
I do. Do you want to see?
Because you don't eat any sour candy.
Yes, I do.
Well, then stop eating my sour candy if you don't like it.
Well, you always pick on me about it, so then I have to try it. Oh, you know what makes me sad?
What?
When there's yellow candies and they're lemon flavored instead of banana.
What?
Like, on Easter we got these circus peanut things, and the yellow ones were lemon flavored. Which, I mean, some things like Skittles, you wouldn't have a banana flavored yellow Skittle. Like those things I understand when it's yellow. But there's a lot of things where I feel like the yellow should be banana flavored and then it's lemon, and it's just really sad.
I think there's certain things, like the circus peanut marshmallow. They're like those marshmallow chicks and bunnies, if you guys have ever had them. I think those should be banana flavored. I feel like banana flavored candy is probably pretty controversial, but I like certain banana flavored things. Like I like the banana runts. And I love banana Slurpees, which you can never find anywhere. And like banana popsicles.
Banana Slurpees are the best. 7-Eleven, if you're listening, you should bring back banana Slurpees in Colorado because they never have them.
Yeah, especially bring them back in July so that we can get them on 7-Eleven Day.
Yeah.
Which I guess you want people to pay for them, so. But don't worry, we'll buy them too.
I haven't had a Slurpee since last 7-Eleven Day.
Oh, that's sad. Do you want me to go buy you one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's stop the podcast.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay, now we have our Slurpees.
No, we didn't really. But we do have banana popsicles in the freezer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you want to know my beef with popsicles?
Sure.
I do not like the wooden sticks. They make the popsicle taste like wood. It's
I
so
agree,
gross.
actually. I mean, I don't know what a better solution would be, but...
Plastic sticks?
Well, yeah, but the environment...
Well, paper sticks?
Well, they would get all soggy, because, like, when you
That's
get a
true.
sucker and it has a paper stick, and then sometimes it gets, like...
You know what else? I hate those paper sticks on suckers.
I thought you might say that.
They gross me out so much. I hate the texture of paper. If you are ever eating a sucker around me, you need to like take the wrapper off of the sucker and then wrap it around the stick and then hold on to the wrapper, because if you put your like sweaty hand on the paper of the sucker, so gross.
But then you have the crackly of the wrapper every time someone
Yeah, but
moves.
that doesn't bother me.
It's so weird what bothers you and what doesn't.
I know.
Okay, well, I guess since this is called Eat Dessert First, we shouldn't wait too long before we talk about whether you should or should not eat dessert first.
I wonder if we agree on this.
I know. Do you want to go first?
I think you should eat dessert first and last. Like have a little pre-dessert, and then you eat your dinner or whatever, and then you have a little post-dessert.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm a little bit torn because I would really say that you shouldn't eat dessert first, because everyone says, oh, eat dessert first. It's like it's supposed to be like so special that you got to eat dessert before you ate your dinner or whatever. Which, like, I guess I understand when you're a kid and your parents are like, you have to finish your dinner before you eat dessert.
Eat your broccoli.
Yeah, so then if you eat your dessert and then you don't finish your dinner, then you're like, well, too bad, I already ate dessert, so you can't threaten me. But I'm a big believer in saving the best for last. So like I have to eat this pasta that's just fine, but then I get to eat this ice cream that's my favorite ice cream ever or whatever. So from that point of view, I think you should save dessert for last. It would be so disappointing if you ate ice cream and then you had to eat broccoli. Then your life is just going downhill rather than the opposite.
True.
But I've also heard that people say, like, when you're hungry, the first few bites of whatever you eat are going to taste the best to you, because once you're not as hungry and you've been eating something for a while, then your body just like gets used to that it has food in your mouth, so then things don't taste as good, which I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like that would take a lot of experimenting, and I've never really paid that much attention, but if you're looking at it from that angle, then I guess it does make sense to eat dessert first. I still save the best for last, and I've been doing it for 19 years and I'm still alive, so I feel like it's a good way to go.
Yeah, I feel like that's generally how I would do things, is eat dessert last, because, I mean, first of all, I feel like, let's say you're going to eat an Oreo and then you're going to eat mac and cheese. I feel like the flavors would kind of be messed up. Or let's say you're having like garlic onion soup.
Yeah, my favorite soup.
Yeah. And then after you're done eating that, you're probably going to want something to like get the garlicky, oniony taste out of your mouth. So that's why then you have the dessert last, because then it feels like it just like finishes off your meal, you know?
Yeah, but sometimes I think that gets tricky, because if you have like an overwhelming garlic taste in your mouth and then you try to eat a cookie, then the cookie tastes like garlic. So in that scenario, then I feel like you need to eat pretzels or something with like a similar flavor palette, but more fun, I guess. So it's not necessarily dessert, but it like gets rid of some of that taste.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Oreos, what do you think is the proper way to eat an Oreos cookie?
Okay, you guys can't see what I'm doing, but you twist it like a light bulb so that it comes apart, but you don't break it. And then you eat the one cookie with no icing, and then you lick off the icing, and then you eat the other cookie that had the icing on it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what you would do?
Well, I might eat the icing first, and then... No, I would probably eat one cookie and then...
Because then it's too much cookie all at a time.
Yeah, then you like spread it out.
What about Kit Kats? How do you eat those? Do you bite them, or do you eat off the chocolate?
You have to eat like one layer at a time.
But do you eat the chocolate off of the outside first? Okay,
so you like eat the chocolate, and then you eat like one layer of wafer and then the next layer.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I can't stand it when... Well, actually, a lot of chocolate. Not a lot. I don't really eat chocolate that much because I much prefer sour candy. But like Kit Kats and Twix bars and those tag-alongs, Girl Scout cookies that are covered in chocolate, I used to do with that. You have to eat all the elements separately. So you have to like eat the chocolate off and then eat the wafers, or like eat the caramel off the Twix, or eat the peanut butter out of the middle of the tag-along.
Mm-hmm. You know what else bothers me when people bite into it? String cheese.
Oh, that bothers me too, because that's too much cheese in your mouth. And the whole point of string cheese is to make strings out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, what desserts do you eat with your hands versus a fork? Like cupcakes. Do you eat with your hands?
You eat it with your hands. That's the whole point of a cupcake.
Really?
Yes. Otherwise, just eat a slice of cake if you're going to eat it with a fork.
No, I still feel like it's too messy to eat with your hands. Maybe because I'm just a really messy eater, but I really have a hard time eating desserts if they're not sitting on a plate.
I think that, well, if it's like a Gigi's cupcake or something that's like stacked with frosting, then it might be a little too hard. But
yeah,
then you like eat some of the frosting off first. But I just don't understand. I mean, I guess maybe if it's like falling apart, you would eat it with the fork. But it just seems like a weird thing to do, because that's the whole point of a cupcake, is that you can eat it. If you just hold on to the wrapper and not like stick your hand in the frosting, it won't get on your hands.
But it's always like coming off over the side. I suppose if it was one of those mini cupcakes, I would probably eat it with my hands.
Really? Because I feel like those are the ones that fall apart because they're so mini that they just like crumble.
I also think,
oh, pumpkin!
It's 4:59. He has 1 minute. He's getting ready.
He just, like, woke up and started climbing on Aspen.
Hi.
It's too bad you guys can't see him. He's so cute.
I think that there's a lot of desserts that are just easier to eat with a fork. Like, ice cream sandwiches, like the...
What?
No, hear me out. You know the ones with just, like, the chocolate wafery cookie things?
Uh-huh.
Those are so sticky that if you touch it with your hands, it, like, just sticks to your fingers. So I feel like it's a lot easier to eat with a fork or a spoon.
That's why you hold on to the paper. How on earth would you even cut into it with a fork? That just doesn't make any sense.
It's not, because the cookies on top are, like, soft.
Yeah, but the ice cream isn't.
Yes, it is. It's soft enough. You can eat ice cream with a spoon. Or, like, I guess you could eat it with a spoon and not a fork, but...
Ooh, you know what's cool?
What?
Ice cream in a box.
Oh, yeah, we got that one time. I don't know why.
We were watching This Is Us, and they ate ice cream out of a box.
No, I wasn't saying I don't know why we did that. I was going to say I don't know why it's so much cooler than ice cream in a carton, but it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But that was really hard to eat, because then you just have this slice of ice cream, and we didn't know what to do with it, so we put it on plates, but then it was, like, sliding around so much.
If you don't know what ice cream in a box is, it's like a thing from the olden days where ice cream would be in, like, a literal box, and you would, like, open the box and then slice it like a loaf of bread, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you, like, eat it.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what else is cool?
What?
When I was at Walmart today, I was in the baking aisle, and these people were standing there looking at this box for, like, 10 minutes, and I was like, please move so I can get out of this aisle. But
couldn't you have gone the other direction?
No, because there was this really old couple that was, like, examining all of the chocolate chips, and they were taking up the whole aisle, so I was literally trapped. But they had this brownie mix kit that was, like, dinosaur brownies, and they had, like, candy bones that you put in the brownie mix before you bake it, and then it came with a little shovel so you could dig out the bones for your brownies. Isn't that adorable?
That is adorable.
Oh, speaking of brownies, 2-bite brownies. Are they really 2 bites?
It depends how big your mouth is.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I don't think so, because...
Aspen takes, like, 500 bites to eat them.
Not 500, but I feel like they're kind of big to eat in 2 bites, and then your brownie's just gone in 30 seconds.
You gotta savor your dessert a little bit more. When you're eating a cupcake, do you eat the frosting off first?
Always. Well, I guess it depends on the kind of cupcake, because, I'm not a huge frosting person. Like, when we were babies and we got our smash cakes when we were 1, and they had buttercream frosting on them, because our parents didn't know that we had a buttercream sensitivity, but then we broke out into hives. So then we didn't eat buttercream frosting until we got to school, and kids would bring it for, like, their birthdays and stuff, and it would always make us feel sick. So, like, now I can eat it, but I'm just not really a big fan of it. So that I would definitely eat off first. But we make this really good, like, marshmallowy frosting. We call it 7-minute frosting that we put on angel food cake. Well, sometimes we make cupcakes out of angel food cake, which is very hard to do because it's easy to deflate it, but my mom's really good at it. But anyway, that's always a dilemma, because angel food cake is my favorite cake, but that's also my favorite frosting. And the frosting is kind of the best part. So sometimes you have to, like, lay the cupcake on its side and eat, like, the bottom part, because then the top of the cupcake is the crispy part, and that's the best part of the cake. So then you have the top of the cupcake and the frosting you eat last. That was a very long explanation.
That's quite the process to eat a cupcake.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it, though. What about you?
If I'm eating a cupcake, I guess, I wouldn't eat it all off first, because then it kind of defeats the purpose of, like, the frosting and the cupcake. But if it's, like, too tall, then I will eat some of it. But
I generally don't think, it depends on what kind of cupcake and frosting it is, but I often feel like they taste better separate than together.
I think it depends.
So I guess since we're debating food, maybe we should real quick address the biggest food debate of all that I know of.
What?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh.
What do you think?
No.
I kind of think it is.
No.
Because it's 2 pieces of bread and meat in the middle.
No, because the 2 pieces of bread are attached to each other. It's just 1 piece of bread, but if you fold it in half.
But if you go to Subway the two pieces of bread are attached to each other.
But other sandwiches, the meat is flat. It's not round.
Well, not necessarily. Like, people make sandwiches out of, like, leftover turkey from Thanksgiving and stuff, and that's not flat.
It's mostly flat. Plus, because you can eat a hot dog without it being in a bun. So it's just not a sandwich, okay?
Well, I guess I mean a hot dog in a bun, because you can eat deli turkey without it being on a sandwich.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call that a turkey sandwich. You still call it a hot dog.
Actually, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay, we just solved that debate.
Maybe I concede to you on that one.
Woo. Okay, we're going to do a speed round. We're going to answer some of the most popular food debate questions.
Actually, funny story, last year we had this bag of marshmallows open for like all of spring when we were living in Los Angeles, and they were just still soft no matter what. But then we took them in, we packed them when we went to Disneyland for a day, and they just like hardened right up while we were at Disneyland.
Magic of Disney.
It was really fun.
If you've never tried dried out marshmallows, you will probably move out of Los Angeles once you've tried them.
Like, they can't be so dry that they're crunchy, but just enough that they're just really good.
Like, the outside is crispy and then it's like chewy.
Yeah.
They're so good. Are Pop-Tarts a type of ravioli?
What?
Well, it makes sense because they've got stuff in the middle.
Because ravioli is made of pasta. Pop-Tarts aren't made of pasta. Then, like, a Reese's cup would be ravioli, too.
Yeah,
Okay, should Pop-Tarts be eaten toasted, normal, or frozen?
I've never tried them frozen, but I think toasted.
I used to think that I did not. Well, when I was little, I liked Pop-Tarts, but then for many years, Ashley liked Pop-Tarts, but I really thought they were really gross. And then one time she toasted one and was like, you have to try a piece of it toasted. And I was like, wow, what is this new world that I've been introduced to? Because, I mean, they're not my favorite thing in the world, but they're about 10 million times better toasted than they are cold. I feel like when they're cold, the chocolate ones don't taste like chocolate.
I like the white bread, Pop-Tart bread when it's toasted, but not when it's not toasted.
Oh, yeah. Do you like the chocolate ones or the fruity ones better?
I think the cookies and cream are my favorite, but then I like the strawberry.
Oh, that's
funny. But I haven't really, I think those are the only flavors I've tried in like 10 years.
Oh, well, we have like 500 flavors here that we've got these gingerbread flavored ones that I keep telling her to try and she won't try them.
No, I will. I just keep forgetting. Plus, all I can eat for breakfast is cottage cheese, so.
Or else you'll explode.
Yeah.
I think the strawberry are my favorite, but then of the chocolate ones, I like hot fudge sundae because the idea of eating sprinkles for breakfast just behooves me beyond belief.
Oh, I need to try those.
I love eating sprinkles. Oh, love sprinkles.
Speaking of sprinkles for breakfast, if you've never tried sprinkles in your oatmeal, you're missing out.
Yeah, I also did a blog post about that if you want to read about it.
Oh, yeah. Also, speaking of gingerbread, do you like gingerbread soft or hard?
Soft.
Me too. People who eat hard gingerbread are crazy.
I've heard of ginger snap. Obviously, ginger snaps are hard, but just like a Christmas gingerbread cookie hard?
Yeah, that's like a popular thing. Like if you watch that Baking It show, there was like a gingerbread episode and there was this big debate between all the judges because some of them liked the soft parts.
I mean, I guess when you build a gingerbread house, that's hard. And I mean, those are fine.
Yeah, I guess those are.
If you like it hard, you've never tried our gingerbread cookie recipe.
We make the best gingerbread cookies. Everyone should come over to our house and we'll make you gingerbread cookies.
We make the best of a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay, when you make peanut butter and jelly, do you put bread, then peanut butter, and then jelly on top, and then put the other piece of bread on, or do you put peanut butter on one piece and jelly on the other piece?
That's so interesting. I've never even thought about that, but I put the peanut butter on one piece and jelly on the other.
Me too.
Because sometimes the bread isn't exactly the same shape, so if you put it all on one slice and then you have another slice of bread that has nothing on it, then you might just get like big bites full of bread with no flavor.
Yeah.
Do you put more peanut butter or more jelly or equal?
Twice as much jelly, obviously.
That's what I do, but the internet seems to believe that you should do twice as much peanut butter. But I feel like peanut butter has such a stronger flavor, and it like is sticky. So like it sticks to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
So you need more jelly to balance it out.
Yeah.
Okay, since we were talking about Pop-Tarts and sprinkles for breakfast, do you think breakfast should be sweet or savory?
Sweet.
I agree.
I mean, sometimes like you can have scrambled eggs or something. Crazy eggs is what we call it in my house because my mom puts all these crazy things in her eggs.
Not crazy, but
like peppers and mushrooms and...
That's the way I do it too. I think it's good that way.
Mushrooms? Gross. Why would you eat a fungus? Blah.
I think I used to hate mushrooms, but I like them in things. Like you have to try them in the skillet, then they're really good.
I like cream of mushroom soup rice. Like rice with cream of mushroom soup. But other than that, no. No mushrooms.
You just have to not think about the idea of it being
and the texture of them is just so... Ugh. Sweet potatoes or white potatoes?
Oh, sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I love sweet potatoes. The problem is we used to have a lot more disagreements about food, and then we converted each other on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, Ashley used to hate chickpeas, and now she loves them.
I still don't really like hummus, though.
Yeah, but I don't know why, because it's just chickpeas.
I don't know. It's just off-putting.
I think you just need to try the right kinds of hummus. It's kind of funny because I really like sour things and like lemony flavored things usually, but sometimes I feel like you get hummus brands that have too much lemon juice in them, and then it kind of makes the flavor, like they kind of taste almost rotten. Or maybe it's because sometimes I probably use the same tub of hummus for a little too long.
Oh, you know what else I don't like that Aspen likes?
What?
Pears.
Oh, that is a major issue in our house. I'm really trying to convert her because the texture is a little bit different, but I feel like generally pears don't even taste that different from apples.
Yes, they do.
Some do, but I have apples all the time that I'm like, this tastes so much like a pear.
No.
Yes, but I keep trying to convert her and just can't do it yet. So if you have any ideas, let me know.
I do not like pears. They are so gross. Remember when we were little and you got mad at me that I didn't like pears? So you kept saying you didn't like apples just to like annoy me?
I thought it was potatoes. Because I feel like
potatoes.
We were in preschool and we had one of those fake restaurant things at our school and you were making potatoes, and so I was like, I'm going to tell Ashley I don't like potatoes.
Oh, but I didn't like potatoes when we were little.
Really? Oh, then it must have been something else. Okay, last question, since I admitted that sometimes I eat the hummus past its expiration. I don't think you should eat refrigerated items past their expiration dates, but packaged foods, we tend to have a lot of things like cookies and crackers that might be slightly past their expiration date. And our dad's always like, don't eat those, throw those away. But I think as long as you open them and they taste normal, they're totally fine to eat because if they're like 5 years, but if it's a bag of Oreos or a granola bar that's a month past its best buy date, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with eating it because it's packaged.
I think as long as it tastes normal. I mean, we have candy from Easter 3 years ago. Like, those Easter dots, I never opened those. I should open those.
Oh, you should.
We have plenty of candy that is a couple of years old, and it still tastes completely normal.
I also think that Oreos sometimes taste more expired when they're not expired than when they are. It's a very strange phenomenon.
Interesting.
But actually, sometimes I feel like I'm used to it because especially in college when I'm the only one eating stuff and I have such a variety of foods that it takes me a long time to finish a giant box of cereal or something. So there's some foods that I kind of forgot how they taste when they're not past their best buy date.
Yeah.
So like I had a box of Honeycombs cereal for like the entire semester last year and I still thought they tasted good. Then we just bought Honeycombs the other day and I was like, these are so crunchy. I didn't remember them being this crunchy.
Yeah, I had the same thing with Cheerios because I bought a family-sized box because it was on sale. But then it took me all semester to finish it. And then because in LA it's really humid, so your cereal gets kind of not crispy anymore.
Uh-huh.
And then I had a fresh box of Cheerios and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
But also to come full circle, it makes me really disappointed when Sour Patch Kids are super fresh. I mean, not really disappointed. I still like them. I will still eat them. But I much prefer them when they're like a year old and so they've had time to get just a little hard and chewy. That's when they're really the best.
I don't like chewy, like gummy candy like that because then it sticks to your teeth.
No, not overly chewy, just like enough where it's not so soft that it just goes down your throat without you even chewing it, you know?
Sure.
Well, we better go so Ashley can open her 2-year-old Easter dots.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening, and please let us know what your thoughts are on all of these food debates, and we will see you next week. Well, we won't really see you, but you'll listen to us next week for a really exciting episode of Twinspiration.
Yay!
Bye!
Bye!